If I asked you to fill in the blank, school meals are, what's the first word that came to your mind? Over the last 10 years, the school meal industry has seen an incredible amount of news coverage. And I've heard a lot of people on the news and social media talk about what they think school meals are. One teacher told me about an experience he had with his 4th grade student, Dylan. And the first week of school, Dylan came to school late, and he was extremely upset for the rest of the day. And over the next several weeks, Dylan was often late. And it didn't matter if he was 5 minutes late or 30 minutes late, he had this same reaction. Now, his teacher tried talking to him, and he tried talking to Dylan's mother. And he learned that she was a single mother working 3 jobs, including a night shift. She didn't always make it home in time to get her boys off to school. But nothing this teacher did changed Dylan's behavior. Until one day, Dylan did something really brave. He said, "I only eat 2 meals a day. And when I'm late, I miss my breakfast." The only meals he could rely on were school breakfast and school lunch. So let me fill in that blank and tell you that school meals are important. I have the incredible opportunity of working with school districts all across Eastern Washington, and every single one of them has students like Dylan, and not just 1 or 2. 2 out of 3 teachers will tell you that they have students in their classrooms who regularly come to school hungry. But research shows us that that number is far too low. On average, every classroom has 4 or more students who do not eat regular meals at home. Now, many people still view school meals as an accessory to the real reason kids go to school, right? Lunchtime, it's a break. It's a pause in education. Education is why we have schools. But our ability to become educated collapses when we are hungry. Research shows us that Dylan is more likely to lose focus in class, score lower in math, experience delays in his language and motor skills, struggle with behavioral issues like hyperactivity in the classroom, and ultimately, he is more likely to repeat the 4th grade than his classmates are. Hunger affects our ability to become educated, which prompts a question. What is education exactly? If a student can balance an algebraic equation, but they can't tell you how to balance a meal, are they really educated? We had a student in school who thought that pears were little white cubes that came packed in a can of juice. We had girls that were shocked and disgusted to find chicken bones in a chicken drumstick. Children today are incredibly disconnected from the food that they're eating. They've grown up eating out of boxes and bags and cans. And that is exactly how our food industry wants it to be. US companies spend $1.7 billion a year marketing processed foods to children. And on top of that, our portion sizes have more than tripled in the last 50 years. So it's no wonder that we're finding adult onset diseases like high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes in children as young as 10 years old. We need to change the way we educate children about nutrition. And if we want to teach them, what better place than school meals in the cafeteria? In a typical day, the majority of US students will eat at least 1 meal from their schools. And many families now rely on schools to feed their kids. So let me tell you what's included in a school meal today. Every school lunch includes fruits, vegetables, whole grain, protein, and milk in balanced portions. Schools every week serve red-orange vegetables, dark green vegetables, and legumes. These meals are impressive. We don't see this level of nutrition quality served to children anywhere else in the food service industry. And we can no longer assume that this is happening in homes. School meals are important. And when we understand that, we will invest the time and the resources that these programs need to be successful and impactful in our communities. And some communities have already started. In fact, in Eastern Washington, over half of students are offered entrees that are cooked from scratch. We are offering whole grain breads baked here in Spokane and colorful salad bars full of fresh produce. And these healthy changes that we're making have a powerful impact. One of the first local school districts to switch to scratch-cooked meals found that in the first 5 years of their program, there was a 12% reduction in the number of overweight and obese students in their district. When we teach children how to eat and enjoy healthy foods, their habits change. I watched a 3rd grade girl walk into her lunchroom, look up and down the lunch line in distress and say, "We aren't having salad today?" How amazing that we have elementary students looking forward to a salad with their lunch. At another salad bar, a 5th grade girl loaded her tray with diced tomatoes, ate every single one, and she was so excited about the diced tomatoes that a bunch of her friends went back to try them out. We had a mom call the school and ask for our radish recipe because her kids kept talking about the radishes they tried at school that day. And jicama, which is a root vegetable, became so popular when we sampled it at an elementary school that we ran out of it the next day when we served it with lunch. When we understand that school meals are important, we can create cafeterias that are as effective at educating as our classrooms. School meals are not a pause in education. In fact, school meals can become some of the most powerful education we offer in public schools. Now, school meals do more than just support education, and they even do more than supporting our physical health. They support our mental and our emotional well-being. Existing data in the US shows us that children who cannot rely on consistent meals at home present both biological and psycho-emotional developmental challenges independent of socioeconomic status. The effects of hunger in elementary school include anxiety, hyperactivity, and aggression. And high school students who struggle with hunger are more likely to develop anxiety, depression, and commit suicide. Now, to some degree, we're all familiar with the mental and behavioral effects of hunger, right? Many of us get hangry after just a little too long without food. And in fact, I might be standing in front of an audience that's currently feeling some of these effects. So, let me tell you what is happening inside your body right now. If you are here on time today, it's been over 3 hours since you ate your breakfast. And in that time, your blood sugar and insulin levels have been slowly dropping. And this alerted your gut to release a hormone, ghrelin. Ghrelin signaled to a region of your brain called the hypothalamus. And once that signal arrived, the reward centers for your brain changed, and they started to search for food. Now, these changes are invasive. Your stomach might have started to growl, or if you're like me, you literally started going through your purse trying to find a snack. And new research shows us that your brain sacrifices energy it would normally spend on learning and memory in order to search for food. So imagine with me for a second that our MC comes out and says, "Sorry guys, we're running a little behind. We're just gonna skip our lunch break today and plow right on through. It's gonna be about 4 hours." How much would you get from the rest of our TED Talks today? No matter how engaging the speakers were or well prepared, how would you feel as you sat there waiting? You might feel like Dylan, his first week of school. Only he was 9 years old, and it had been 19 hours since he ate his last meal. His mom dropped him off 10 minutes late, and he just realized that he missed breakfast. He's now going to go to class and try to learn for 4 hours until he eats his lunch. We need to change the way that we think about school meals. And we need to change the way that we talk to each other about school meals. We have the power to change cafeterias into centers for nutrition education. And we have the opportunity to create schools that are safe havens from hunger. And I believe that we can change the health trajectory for American kids when we internalize the simple truth that school meals are important. Thank you.